Quick video on how to get 1000 Hz or 500 Hz on the Gamesir Xbox Kaleid. So you'll see here, I've got my Xbox Kaleid plugged in. Sometimes sometimes the app's a little bit buggy on this Gamesir Nexus app with the Kaleid for some reason. But we go here to Profiles, and you'll see here I can set my report rate to 250, 500, or 1000. On the Gamesir Kaleid Xbox edition. So it wasn't always actually like that. It didn't used to show the option to change the polling rate, and so I had to figure out how. So you have to, like, you can read all this if you want, or just watch the video that I'm making right now. So what you have to do is you have to download the Gamesir T4K app for some reason. So you go to wherever, your Microsoft store or whatever. So I just go like this, store, Microsoft store, download the Gamesir T4K app, which doesn't really make sense because this is not a T4K, but that's what you have to do. So you download this here, this Gamesir T4K app. Boom, you're here. And then you just hit, where is it? You hit your your Xbox Plus menu button on the Gamesir T4K app. You have to unplug your Kaleid, your controller. You unplug it. While it's unplugged, you hold the Xbox and menu button down while it's unplugged, and then you plug it in while those two buttons are held in. Plug it in, and then it's going to give you the option to update your controller. When your controller is updated, it's going to say update successful. This is on the Gamesir T4K app. Once the update is successful, then you close your T4K app, you head back over to your Gamesir Nexus app, here like this, and you just give it a second. Like I said, the app sometimes it takes a minute to go into to recognize the controller on the app. Boom, now we're in here, and then you're gonna have the option to change your polling rate. So if you're on PC, if you're using the controller on a PC, you're gonna want to use 1000 Hz on the controller. If you're using the controller on an Xbox, I would recommend 500 Hz because see here, 1000 Hz will disable the headphone jack on Xbox, which is not a big deal. If you have a mix amp or if you have a workaround, like if you have a second controller or whatever that you can plug your headset into, that's not a big deal. But what is a big deal is that Xbox seems to have a problem with Gamesir controllers being 1000 Hz on the platform, and they seem to have disabled the 1000 Hz. So essentially, there's another YouTuber named the Photo Techie. You'll see him on YouTube. He's really good, really knowledgeable about this stuff, and he does tests. So his name's the Photo Techie. You can search him up if you'd like, or you can just listen to me. So he's done tests, and when you set your thing on Xbox, on PC it works. 1000 Hz works fine on PC, but on Xbox, if you set it to 1000, it won't say it's 250, but it's actually gonna be 250. Even though it says 1000, it's gonna be 250. Likely the reason why Xbox has done this is because they don't like Gamesir controllers being way better than all the other controllers on Xbox. Like Xbox is 125, like the lowest Gamesir goes to is 250. Xbox, the highest you can get on an Xbox controller, even the Elite Series 2, is 125. That's way too slow. That's absolutely unacceptable, especially considering the price of the controller. And so if Gamesir has 1000 Hz controllers on the platform, anyone who knows that should be using a Gamesir controller. Like the Xbox being on 125 is absolutely unacceptable. So anyway, 1000 doesn't work on Xbox. On the G7 SE, 1000 does still work if you have Windows 11 and you download the script. On the G7 SE, it does still work, but it seems that Gamesir and Microsoft have come to an agreement at 500 Hz. The 500 Hz does actually work. Once again, like 1000 just doesn't work. Even though it says 1000, it's going to go to 250. But 500 does work. The Photo Techie has tested this with a 240 hertz camera, like a 240 FPS camera. He puts the camera in slow motion, and he does a test that that actually confirms that the 500 hertz does work. 1000 hertz does not work. 250 does work. 500 does work on Xbox, but on PC, 1000 hertz absolutely does work. So if you're on a PC, make sure you do 1000. It feels great. I don't have the technology to test this, but I'm very experienced in this sort of thing. Like I can actually feel it. I have a T4K as well, and the 1000 hertz feels exactly like the T4K. And once again, the Photo Techie did test this on his YouTube channel, and the 1000 hertz does work on PC. It works perfectly fine. So yeah, that's it. If you're on Xbox, 500, definitely 250. Like you can. I tested this on Xbox as well. I didn't test it with technology. Like I didn't test it scientifically, but I did test it with feel, and I can clearly see on Xbox that 500 feels quicker than 250 on the Xbox Kaleid, and 1000 hertz definitely feels like 250, like it feels slower. And 1000 hertz on the G7 SE on Xbox is certainly quicker than the Kaleid at 500 hertz, but you need Windows 11 and you need a script. And on top of that, I find that the G7 SE is not as comfortable as the Kaleid, as the Xbox Kaleid. I think that if I were to play on Xbox, I would most likely just use an Xbox Kaleid at 500 hertz because 500 hertz is plenty quick. But if you want the absolute quickest, the G7 SE does feel just marginally quicker at 1000 hertz than the Kaleid does at 500. But like I said, I just prefer the shape of the Kaleid, prefer the mechanical buttons, and the shape is just so much nicer. Also, I think it looks way nicer too. So I don't know, like if I was playing competitively on Xbox, I'd strongly consider the G7 SE. But I think at the end of the day, the Kaleid would be my controller of choice on Xbox. So yeah, that's it.